So there's a hidden cost to missing workouts that most players aren't aware of. And we need to become aware of this because it unconsciously holds us back during games, regardless of what may or may not have happened during that workout. And this is a deep one. Okay. So, and I will say right off the bat, missed workouts are really just a example of a larger theme, which is ultimately breaking promises to yourself. So keep that in mind as we move throughout this note. So the hidden cost of missing workouts, what often happens, let's say we have a 6 a.m. workout on the schedule that we told ourselves we were going to do. The alarm clock goes off, it's dark outside, it's cold, the bed is cozy, and we just rationalize it in our mind by saying that, what is this hour and a half workout really going to mean in the big scheme of things? Is it really going to make a difference? Are my skills really going to get worse or improve that much? And the truth is, when we look at it from that perspective, it doesn't mean a whole lot, actually. One single workout will not make or break your career. Your skills will not disappear by missing one day in the gym. That is true. However, there is something deeper going on. And every single time that we break these promises to ourselves, when we say we're going to do a workout and we don't do it, the hidden cost is at the level of our identity. Now, in Deep Game, identity is so important that we actually have an entire law about it, the law of identity, which states that the player we believe ourselves to be is the player we will see. So that means that the player that you truly believe you are, the player in person you believe you are, is the player in person you will actually be when you step out into the world and step onto the court to play games. And so when you step into a game, that whether you remember it or not, that missed workout or that series of missed workouts that you did will have this unconscious guilt in your mind that tells you, I don't actually deserve to play as well as I want to play. And so you will unconsciously hold yourself back because you don't feel deserving of playing that well. Now, this is a really insidious problem because it happens below the surface of our conscious mind. It's this like guilt that permeates our game when we know we haven't done the work, when we haven't done what we said we were going to do, that we haven't kept our word with ourselves. And so when we step on the court, we simply don't feel deserving of playing as well as we've always dreamed that we could play, whether or not we have the skills inside of us to play that way or not. And this creates so much confusion with players who are like, hey, I'm not playing as well as I know I can. Like my skills are better than this and I'm still not playing that well. And there can be a number of reasons for that, but one of the reasons that I see really commonly is because there is a guilt about it, to put it really simply, broken promises to ourselves. We are not living up to the standards that we set for ourselves. And so when game time comes, we don't feel that we're deserving of playing up to the standards that we set for ourselves. Okay, so that one missed workout may not make a huge difference in your actual like level of skill that's inside your game. It may not make a big difference, but at an identity level, your unconscious mind will remember that, and it will that guilt will weigh you down and hold you back when the time comes to step on the basketball court and play as well as you know you can play. And so the player who keeps his promise to himself and keeps his word no matter what, and does the workouts that he knows need to be done, that player steps on the court during games with complete freedom. And that player knows that they deserve every bit of success that comes their way because they put in the work to actually get that success. If you don't put in the work, then you're not going to feel deserving, whether or not you have the skills to actually create that success or not, right? So this is again, a deeper one, but it's a really important truth to understand about the nature of discipline and hard work. It's not necessarily just about the physical skill and the physical abilities that you're developing through that hard work. Yes, those are important, but you're also developing an identity of the player that you want to become. And the player that you want to become, I know, is the player who works at the level that you know you can work. So start to look at your work ethic and the workouts that you put in, and In a larger way, this, of course, I'm sure you've guessed by now, goes beyond just your workouts. It really is about living by your code. And we talk about this in the Deep Game of Confidence, ultimately, and in the talk, How to Build Deep Basketball Confidence. Ultimately, living by your code is the source of inner confidence. And if you want to feel truly confident on the basketball court, then you need to be able to fully trust yourself and trust your word and trust that you kept your word with yourself. Understand? So I'm saying this in a number of different ways just so that hopefully it sinks in on a deeper level. The cost of missing workouts goes far beyond just the drills and reps that you would have put in during that workout. The cost is at the level of identity. And I heard recently an analogy about this. Every time you keep your word with yourself, it's sort of like this vote for the person that you're becoming and the person that you want to be. And every time you step on the court and, well, not step on the court, but step onto the training ground, whether that's in the weight room or on the court or whatever the case may be, in your garage, on your driveway, every time that you keep your word and do the work that you know needs to be done, it's like a vote for the player that you're becoming. And every time you skip out and you break your word, it's like a vote for the player that you don't want to become and that you've been so frustrated in seeing when you step into games. So treat it in that way. There is a hidden cost and a deeper cost to missing workouts. And when the alarm clock goes off and you know that you've got work to be done, treat it as a commitment to the player that you are becoming and the identity that you are forming as a player and as a human being. Someone that truly keeps their word with themselves and with others. Okay, so if you want to follow this one up, this would be a good time to revisit the talk, How to Build Deep Basketball Confidence. That's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. It's everywhere. And if you're a Deep Game member, of course, the Deep Game of Confidence, the full 4-hour course that we put together, will take you even deeper on this. But regardless, keep in mind, again, that your ability to keep your word with yourself will give you the freedom to experience the success, that the psychological freedom to experience the success that ultimately you deserve if you do keep your word with yourself. And if we don't keep our word with ourselves, there's going to be this unconscious guilt and holding ourselves back because we just don't feel we deserve it, because we know that we didn't do the work to actually deserve the success that's coming our way. So I've said this in so many different ways. I hope that sank in, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, it's Taylor. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, the best thing to do right now while it's fresh in your mind is to head over to deepgame.com and join us in our free masterclass. Now, this is where you'll learn all 8 laws of the deep game and all of the fundamentals that you need to know about the part of basketball that's played with the mind. We've had players call this the best hour of basketball learning of their lives, and it's completely free right now. So head over to deepgame.com to join us, and I will see you there.